Thank you again for doing this. I'm counting the moments until it's all over. I think you should offer them money, and I'm willing to help. Here, all I have liquid at the moment. Hopefully it'll be enough. Take care, please.
These trackers have already shown they're willing to hurt people. Don't get yourself killed on our account. Had to deal with my fair share of their kind over the years. You don't get into that job to make it rich. You get into it to be your own boss and prove how tough you are. So, my advice? Let them know that pushing around a bunch of counselors just makes them look like bullies, not tough. Be careful with those goons.
You looking for my suggestion? I don't think they're gonna respect anything other than force. But I think Sloane's not gonna be happy if you handle it that way.
They haven't killed anyone. Not yet, at least. Which means, I bet they're willing to talk. Love, I can only guess at what these two might be after. But it's clear they perceive something about us as a threat. They're afraid. And all you can do with fear is try and understand it. So, just listen to them. Good luck out there.
What the? Who's that?
No clue. You! Who are you and what the hell are you doing here? And just who the holy hell are you?
See? I told you Kilman was gonna lead them to us. Should have slit his throat when we had the chance.
Quiet. Listen, unless you're here to tell us those convicts have decided to close up shop, then we've got nothing to discuss. I couldn't care less about the cons. They can huff fish innards until they rot for all we care. But this retreat, if they actually succeed, and then maybe the big boys like the UC and the Collective set up programs of their own, just like Helios. Put us all out of a job. Now, better to nip it in the bud now before it becomes a threat. Which is why I'm not interested in discussing anything except the date and time they're shutting their doors. That's so. Well, they have shaken off a lot so far. Fine. We'll leave the retreat alone. Can't make any promises about us being the last, though. Just get out, all right?
There you are. You were gone for quite a while, love. Are you all right? Were you able to find our trackers? Not sure I like the implication, but I suppose I have to respect it. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. This place, all of us, we are in your debt. There is just one last piece of business, though. Nevin asked to speak to you, in private. He's waiting for you up in the office.
Ah, there you are. So, first things first, I need to say, well, thank you. Of course. I'm sure you're anxious to get on your way. It's just the situation you set right, with the trackers. Luckily, we have someone, our founding donor in fact, who has offered to reach out to the Alliance, ensure their good behavior going forward. Before she does, however, she's asked for the details of what exactly occurred. I've already shared my own insights, but, well, she wants to talk to you too. Is that something you might be amenable to? Our benefactor has said she'd prefer to do the introductions herself. But you can rest assured she wants only to thank you in person, hear your side of the story. Nothing more sinister than that. Ah, she'll be pleased to hear it. Head to Aquila City in the Cheyenne system. Check in with Justin Sneed, her security chief. And I would ask you to try and be polite. She's the only reason we're here.
I knew taking this job was a mistake.
Watch it. Ships coming and going all the time.
I actually met a guy who finished the Red Mile. He lost an eye in the process, but he did walk away with a pile of credits. And I mean, you got 2 eyes, right?
SSNN says that spacers and the fleet are getting worse.
I heard Mr. Wright's gonna be looking for an apprentice soon.
Approval takes a peach of a job.
Can you get certified?
Tower's closed. Come back some other time. You're them, huh? I've got 2 rules for this little meeting. Rule number 1, you're not to share anything you discuss up there. This is a private matter, and we're going to keep it that way. Rule 2, you decide to get playful with that weapon, we're going to have serious problems. Think you can abide by those? Suppose I can take that as a yes. Fine, head upstairs. Miss Lance is waiting for you.
And that must make you our guest. Please, take a seat. Please, I insist. Sit and we can get to the business at hand. Now, you may already know who I am. Raisha Lance, CEO Laredo Firearms. And you, I know all about. I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for the retreat. Truly, it's a project that's near and dear to my heart. If that's what you want. I need details before I talk to the heads of the Trackers Alliance. Make sure their members understand the retreat's off limits. Lily here will be taking notes as we go. Now, Nevin said all the various incidents afflicting the retreat, they all stemmed from this pair of rogue bounty hunters. Do I have that right? Ah, I'll be sure that's noted. But you did manage to get those 2 to leave the retreat alone. You mind my asking how you accomplished that? I'm sure that couldn't have been easy. I appreciate you putting yourself in danger like that. I'm interested in the details, though. How exactly did it all play out? Well, I'm glad we lucked into someone with your skill set showing up when you did. So, only other thing I wanted to ask, and I'm just looking for an opinion here, is there anything in your eyes that could have been done to prevent this happening? After everything I've heard from you and Nevin, I'm inclined to agree. It'll take time to get the right people in place for this kind of work, but I'll make sure it's addressed. But that should give me enough to present to the Alliance. Thank you for making the time. Now, what you did, well, it deserves something more than just a couple of firm thank yous. Here, I want you to have these. They're a rare make, but I think you've earned it. Now, was there anything else you wanted to talk about before we went our separate ways? Then I don't need to take up any more of your time. You have my sincere thanks. Now if you'll excuse me, as you've seen, there's plenty to be done.
Just do your business and move along.
Excuse me.
Thank you again for all you've done for the retreat.
I'm sorry, I really can't afford to be distracted. I need to get to the bottom of this. Yes, concerned is an understatement. I work for the scientific division of MAST. I've been studying this tree for quite some time, and it appears to be exhibiting some worrying signs. Are you familiar with this particular specimen? Do you understand its importance? Look, I have a lot of work to do here. If you're just going to gawk, I'd ask that you move on. If you can actually assist me, however, I would appreciate it. I don't normally solicit help from random passersby, but it seems an exception is necessary. Would you be willing to retrieve some additional data for me? Thank you. That's unexpected. There's a series of biosensors I've placed in various locations around New Atlantis, all calibrated to gather pertinent information. They've been running for long enough that I think it's time to collect and analyze their findings. If you would bring them to me, that would save time.
Working at the distribution center can be tiring. It sure is rewarding.
By the way, Captain, Sergeant Yumi was looking for you. Sounds like he's got more work.
So after an hour of whining, you're finally out here.
Hey, are you looking for eggs too? I've only found one so far, but I want to find more before anyone else does. So if you see some, can you tell me? Yeah, it was. Weird, right? Miss Seng over at UC Distribution bought the one I found, and she said she might buy more if I can find them. I could really use the credits.
Please, if you experience any issues in your dealings with the distribution center, let us know. We're always striving to improve. Welcome to UC Distribution. Now, before you say a word, I am required to inform you that formal complaints cannot be filed until the customer feedback system is back online. I have been told it'll be up and running in 2 weeks, but you know how these things are. I am sorry for any potential inconvenience. Also, if you're here about a corporate account, I've been assured that deliveries will be back on schedule soon. Who, Jordan? That kid's in here every other day with some random thing he found, trying to get credits. Yeah, I took pity on him. Why, what is it? Oh, really? Well, you can have it back for what I paid for it, plus a little extra. Let's call it a convenience fee, shall we? I could, but I did pay for it. I'd like to recover my losses. And it's all the way in the back room. I'd have to walk back there, then back out here. You did say this was important after all. Honestly, it's probably worth way more than what we're talking about. Pleasure doing business with you. Right. Come back if you need something else. Welcome to UC Distribution. I hope we have what you need. You're always welcome back, if you don't mind a bit of a wait.
Good day, ma'am.
Any luck tracking down those sensors? I really do need that additional data. So you do. Wonderful. I'll just take these, and we'll see what they have to tell us. All right, we'll just upload the data. Give it a moment. And just another moment. It is working, isn't it? Ah, there it is. Relief. Now, let's see. This is... Well, it's... Oh my. Well, there's good news and bad news. The good news is that my suspicions were correct. There is something wrong with the tree. I will report my findings to Mast immediately with no small amount of satisfaction. The phrase, "I told you so," may even be uttered more than once.
Yes, I must admit it feels good to be vindicated. People can be so stubborn when it comes to plant life. It takes a botanist to truly understand that the well-being of plants is directly tied to the well-being of humans. But I digress. Let's get back on track.
The bad news, as it were, is that the internal composition of the tree is changing. In this particular case, the tree is now regularly emitting ultra-low frequency sound waves. They're nearly imperceptible now, but they're growing in strength. This is something we've never observed before. Depending on how large these waves grow, consequences for the city could be disastrous. I must consult with my colleagues in Mast at once. Thank you for your assistance. I hope these credits are adequate compensation.
These findings are alarming.
I'm on tax duty tomorrow. Can't wait.
I hope you are satisfied with the quarters available to you.
Hey, good to see you. So how much of a thrill has it been traveling with the one and only last descendant of the great Solomon Coe? Is it everything you imagined? Well, that's a first. I gotta say, it's a relief being with you. So many people hear Coe and they expect me to pull some A miracle out of a hat. Time has a way of just building on itself. Solomon was a good man. Great one, even. But if he ever heard all the bullshit being talked about him these days, he'd flat out deck him. I am. And I'm not. Yeah, there was a time, well before Cora, where it really weighed on me. I felt like every little thing I did or didn't do was a reflection on our great legacy. It's enough to drive you crazy. Now I just hope I can help Cora to... I don't know. Your kind words are appreciated. For my father, Cora, and me, everything starts and ends with Solomon Coe. He looked out at the stars, and he dreamed a way to get there. Imagine being the first person to jump into a new system, set foot on a new world. Hell, I get it. That's powerful stuff. And now... I'm just getting sappy. You're a bad influence, you know that? That's what I like about you. Well, I hope the comic book they make about our adventures is better than that rag on Solomon. The stuff they publish is just downright embarrassing.
What can I help you with?